Hi everyone, my name is Morgan and this is my Declare It and Share It presentation. So I'm going to walk you guys through what I've learned from this course and how I'm putting it into action and how I plan on continuing to grow. So this class kind of changed how I define happiness, and I'm excited to share that with you guys. Because I used to think that happiness came after you earned it. Like for me, I'll be happy when I graduate, or I'll be happy when I land the right job. But that mindset is what this course calls a happiness contingency, the idea that happiness depends on external circumstances. And I've learned that mindset just delays happiness over and over and over again, and I'm just going to keep adding to that list, and I'm never going to be present. But through our mindfulness practices and through what we've learned in this class, I know that happiness is always around us, and it's all about mindset, and we can tap into it with the right mindset. So one major breakthrough for me was learning about linguistic viruses, and that's basically the subtle ways we shape our experiences. But basically, like, language spreads like a virus, and it begins to shape the way that we think and feel. So for example, when I say I have to do something or I have to do this, there's added pressure and guilt. But if I reframe things as, instead of have to, I choose to, or instead of I'll be happy when, I can choose to say I'll be creating happiness now. Another breakthrough has been living with uncommunicated expectations and the inability to say no. And those were things that I didn't realize were affecting me until this class gave me like a word for them. Recognizing that those viruses means that I can stop them from spreading. So my plan of action for the final presentation was that I wanted to create a couple SMART goals. I wanted to journal 3 times a week for at least 6 weeks after this class ends. Each entry is going to include what I'm grateful for, a reflection on how I showed up, and then just overall notes of how I feel. And then second, I want to engage in flow activities, so like walking, lifting, reading at least 4 times a week, just something that's for me that I can get lost in. Those goals are realistic, and they're rooted in what actually supports my well-being, and these ideas came from some of the activities from the textbook that we were reading. And yeah, so I also was kind of inspired by one of our articles, and there's a Japanese idea of continuous improvement called Kaizen, and that's something that I want to focus on in my life. I want to always be improving. So I also took the subjective happiness scale from the How of Happiness. I scored a 5.5 in the beginning, which is the higher end, and I've always been an optimistic person, but I actually was able to improve that at the end of the semester to a 6.5, and I think that's because of the strategies like journaling, focusing on being grateful, stopping those linguistic viruses. And I mean, I'm not immune to happiness contingencies or linguistic viruses, because I can easily fall into the traps of comparing myself to others and overthinking issues just like everyone else. But I think what's changed is that now I notice those and I have the tools to reframe them. I'm holding myself accountable by tracking my progress and checking in with my mom. I'm the person that she checks in with about her fitness journey, so I know that we're both trying to grow, so she'll be there for me. And talking about our goals makes it feel more real and easier to achieve. And even if I fall off, I'm committed to recommitting. I'm not aiming to be perfect. I just want to progress, and that includes forgiving myself, celebrating the small wins, and just trying to stay, grounded and intentional. And what I'm working towards is a life where work doesn't drive everything, and that I'm not always waiting to be happy. I want to be present in the moment, and I don't want to just measure my worth by productivity. I want to have some focus on self-actualization and, like I said, be in the present. And that's done by kind of creating a coherence between my life view and work view, and defining success for myself. And I value joy and being in the moment, and or at least I want to do that. And I want to focus on meaningful moments instead of just what's next. And this course gave me a lot more than just strategies, but it really helped me change the way that I think about everything, and how I define happiness. I don't want to wait for it. I want to be happy now. And just like a virus, language spreads. So I want to be more intentional with mine, because if I reframe the way that I speak, it's going to change the way that I feel. And the happier that I am, the more positive I am, and the more I spread happiness to others. These strategies, like focusing on gratitude and writing down 5 things that I'm grateful for every day, kind of really made me feel happier when I was doing those. And I noticed that I was being kinder and happier towards other people too. I was complimenting other people and tracking my progress throughout my day of how I was spending my time. I, 1, realized how much time I wasted on some things, but 2, I was able to focus on, wow, I really am productive and I have these things to be thankful for, and I spread that to others. So this class has been amazing for me, and I hope that you all have had the same great experience as I had. So thank you guys.